Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome to Rimworld Anomaly Until Dawn's End. You arrive, Professor Sergeant Kerno and the remainder of Alpha Company arrive at Research Outpost 36, alongside a couple of willing scientists. Now, something seems to be amiss. They can't see the rest of Alpha Company, so Sergeant Kerno gives the orders to advance with his motley band of soldiers, commandos of Her Majesty's army, escorting the scientists to the research outpost. As they go, they call out, try and see any signs of life, but there's no one here. Destroyed bits of machinery can be seen, like broken equipment. But there doesn't seem to be anyone. And from a glance, they start to pick up worrying signs through looking through ventilation and defensive points. The inside seems to have been damaged. And as they get closer, they find that clothing is just lying strewn across the floor. Okay, so as they get here, the Sergeant Colonel looks around before taking stock. Alright, lads, he says as he looks around. Something is off here. Corporal Vale, Corporal Amaturo, you stay here with the scientists. Private Jackson, you're with me. Let's go. And they start to move in, looking past, through gunsets to see, sort of damaged interiors. There doesn't seem to be anyone. As they push up, the doors slide open. The sergeant tells Private Jackson to take one corner, he's going to take the other corner as they advance inside. Private Jackson, Sergeant Kerno is horrified for what he sees. The sort of engineering bay for construction purposes, there's blood dotting the floor. So he advances further in, climbing over bits of broken roof. Same thing in the generator room. As this is happening, Private Jackson is advancing, quietly inching his way down a ruin and blood-soaked corridor. He cracks open the first room into what looks to be some kind of armory bay, but it seems to be some kind of vehicle armory bay, but there's still blood here. There's no signs of Captain Hart or any of the other of A Company. So he pushes forward. He finds what looks like to be some crew quarters, probably the original quarters for this research outpost. This place has been abandoned, he was told. It'd been abandoned for at least 50 years. And they'd been sent in to repair it and set it back up. He finds the ubiquitous military nutrient dispenser, something that he doesn't particularly like the taste of, but it's better than eating nothing, and keeps trundling on, radioing his findings over to Sergeant Kerno. Another bedroom is found, probably looks like to be sort of officers of the Watts bedroom. This one is also stained with blood. Something what has happened here, he thinks, registering his findings to the sergeant. He finds a rec room, more blood stained throughout. At this point, Sergeant Kerno is getting nervous, telling the two corporals outside to basically quietly move up into a more secure location in case there's more enemies outside. He orders them to move into the engineering bay. The scientists are terrified, going past blood-stained floors. The two soldiers escort them into a more secure location as Sergeant Kerno advances deeper into the complex. Seeming to be some kind of storage room, battery room, with some additional defences. He sort of takes stock of the situation. There's only one room left in the original diagrams that he was sent that hasn't been explored, so he tells Jackson to basically go and investigate. Maybe they'll find some clues there. Another bedroom. It seems to be like a main barracks for the outpost, but there is no one here. Taking stock, Sergeant Colonel orders for Private Jackson to reform with the rest of the squad in the engineering bay. Or cargo bay, more like anything else. And they take stock of their situations. Alright, chaps, says Sergeant Colonel. Something strange is going on. Like, I can't find Captain Hart, there's no bodies, the rest of Alpha Company's not here. But we still have our orders. And we can't go back to High Command without, well, at least trying to find out what happened to Alpha Company. The rest of the team sort of exchange nervous looks before Corporal Vale speaks up. Sergeant, what do we do? We can't hold this entire facility on our own. There's only 4 of us can actually fight, and the civilians have no combat training. Like Dr. Cosmar and Dr. Sumet both exchange nervous looks. Well, we'll have to do our best to protect them and carry out our mission. For the time being, secure the perimeter, check to see what supplies we have available, store anything we can, and we'll take stock of our inventory. There must be some food left about. I mean, like, Alpha Company was here for a while setting things up. And I think we passed some supply crates on the outside. Also, we should probably try and close off any external entrances into the base besides one, so we have a better control for the time being, or at least one access for approach. We do have some of the older defensive fortifications set up, and by the looks of it, we do have some. He glances at like some of the more antiquated field artillery that's left around. We have some older weapons we could potentially use, but we had to make this work. Okay, you have your orders. Secure the facility. Make sure the civilians are protected and they can carry out their orders. Well, I don't know what they are. He looks over towards 2 scientists to exchange nervous looks. Like, what exactly were you told were you to do when you come here? We were just ordered to escort you. Dr. Cosma and Dr. Sumet sort of exchange looks. We were sent toward. We had a couple of things. The rest of the science team were supposed to come after us, help us examine like some kind of super organism on the island, on the Grey Island. But there was also some old ruins we were supposed to look into. The soldiers mutter, considering the fact that their comrades' lives seem to have been wasted on ruins and oversized amoebas. But they have their orders. And good soldiers follow orders, thinks Sergeant Colonel as he turns to the rest of his squad. Alright. Corporal Vale, Corporal Amatoro. Try and build and repair and get this place up and running as best you can. Private Jackson, you can help the scientists move some of this rubble out. We need to try and get this place cleaned up. At least if we can get some kind of med bay and a bedroom set up for us, that would be our priority. Try and see if you can get that nutrients dispenser worked up and try and get some supplies and stuff stored away. Even if it's only a makeshift storeroom, chuck it into the main cargo bay if you have to, and we'll put some stuff somewhere else for now. And then they salute as they start to settle into Research Outpost 36. And here we are, folks, at the beginning of the campaign. We are fortunate. As everyone settles in, a bulk ship trader is passing by. They are known as the Ultimate Company, and they are bulk traders. Okay, so I don't know if we can actually even contact them. I don't know if we have any type of transmitter. We do have a radio terminal. So, that being, we shall quickly put down some orders. So we're going to do a stockpile zone. Well, let's put dumping zone for the time being. We need to clear out some of this rubble from our base. Mark that. I don't want any tips on that. We haven't got any research projects. That's fine for the time being. But first things first, let's try and clear out some of this rubble from... We're going to kick some of this rubble out from there. which will help us. We're going to need to clear this out as well. Also need to get... Come on. Don't tell me he can't clean. There was supposed to be a clean feature, can I? Can I get someone to clean? Unless I haven't set them people to be ordered to. Okay. Man, there's a lot of stuff. Deduction. He's just gone so... Man, I sort of... yeah, this... I may have to fiddle with some of the things from complex jobs. I'm not used to using it. Everyone's set to clean. Why won't they clean when I tell them to? Okay. Get stuff moved. We need to get stockpile set up to get things all in order. Oh, indeed, there are. Like, as I didn't realise, I thought these were containers. Like, yeah, like, as Sergeant Kerno goes outside, he realises that what he thought was initially containers were sarcophagi, wooden coffins just stacked outside. Horrifying in realisation. Are they going? Nope, we are going to leave that alone for now. Focus on the home zone. Probably what I want to do is I am going to set up zone, expand allow zone. For the time being, let's set this. Get them to collect all the iron or the supplies that are outside. And everyone can be stuck for the home zone for a second. So don't want anyone running off. Okay. So. Yeah, clean the barracks. Clean the dining room. And we need to get stuff done and put away. So yeah, as the soldiers spread out, the level of destruction is worrying for the sergeant. But he does have his mission. Let's see if they have actually anything they're willing to trade. Like he heard a communication that was some kind of ship trader over the radio. Yeah. Bulk trader. Ooh, they do have stuff, but we don't have a beacon, so we may be out of luck. So I don't think. Now let's see. Production. I don't think miscellaneous, as I believe. Ideology. I don't think we have access to the trade beacon yet. I don't think it's been researched. Rightio. We do have a simple landing beacon, though. Don't have enough components for it yet. So yeah. We're in a bit of a tight situation. Have some things unlocked. Not a ton, but we have enough to reinforce our facilities. So yeah, they're going to grab some meals in the break room. Got a TV going. Our energy supply is not great, so we may actually... Yeah, we're not storing a ton of stuff, so we may actually want to turn some stuff off for the time being. Since we don't have a we don't have a... as we don't have a communication, so we can't turn off the radio in case we get orders. field kitchen, which is fantastic. But is there anything that we can do to trim power? Simple research base. Concrete mixer. Let's see. Pyrolysis. So that makes basically that will make us fuel. Okay, let's turn that off for a second and we'll save a bit of juice on our generator, says Sergeant Kerno. Everybody else has their own missions. The doctors are set to doing menial work for the time being, predominantly just like cleaning rooms. This room, like on the outside here, this small tiny room which they thought first was a bunk room, has been designated to be the hospital. And so the stacking of medical supplies and drugs becomes the order of the day. With food being issued, well, rations being issued and supplies being issued, the next thing is to remove the rest of the rubble from the facility. Also, the issue of storage starts to become apparent. So, for the time being, these 3 cells are appointed to be general purpose for meals. Yeah. There we go. And Private Jenkins gets ordered to basically carry the supplies alongside Corporal Vale and Corporal Amaturo, because we need to basically make sure all the supplies are taken care of. Now, with that off, we should have some power with some excess. That's fine, which is fine for right now. We don't need to be making more fuel. We just need to get things stored away. So, taking stock of their surroundings, it's not great. The scientists say that the facilities in the base are workable, but they still need to set up a proper lab and just reorganize some things. General cleaning is still ongoing as well, as is the relocation of medical supplies. Forgot to put it to critical. Okay. But yes, so far Outpost 36 is coming along. We're clearing up some of the damage. Some of the buildings will need maintenance as time goes on, so things will have to be made. And the scientists should get down to actually doing some research. So, there's a lot of things now. As I said, I haven't been able to use my normal reskin mod for the research tree, so it's not looking great. There are vehicles in the game which I'm really good for. Lots of interesting new weapons, all that kind of thing. But we've got to go for the main stuff right now. So we are going to basically say, first thing we need to get going, the scientists say, is Probably something like a power recycling lets us get some stuff done, but we have a whole lot of stuff we can do. Like I said, this, without my normal research mod, it does look a bit sort of like spacey, so not great. So what do we need? Nutrient paste, packet survivor meals, geothermal power. There's a lot of things we need to get done. Probably something like drug production, though, is a good one to start off with. Allows us to make some simple drugs, which is always useful. Or something like smithing, which leads into... Oh, some things. Actually, smithing doesn't do a lot in the base game. You need to get something like mechanics, but you need manufacturing. Where exactly is manufacturing? Concrete. Expanded, maybe. Oh, there we go. Manufacturing. So what does that need? A locksmithing ox. Yeah. See, this is the problem, is that it's spread out throughout. Oh, I miss my old thing. So yeah, probably what we need to get, first things first, we need to get smithing up and off the table. Then followed by drug production. Okay, but we can't stack multiple things. I missed the old research mod. So let's get smithing done as our initial priority. Like I said, this is not my usual tree. There's lots of things we can look at to basically get extra research going. So let's go, shall we? Okay. So temperature outside is a balmy at 12 degrees C. Inside's a bit warmer. A bit worried that we have got concrete embraces around the power generator. I may have to basically deal with that sooner rather than later. Because I can't afford to have things smashing up my power generation. I don't think I can replace it. So yeah. As the remainder Alpha Company and the VIPs settle in to get themselves back into a working shape, let's get the beds appropriated and given to them. So, as always, clean up the bedroom. You haven't got time for that. Yeah, clean up this room. Are there any other rooms that need cleaning? Okay. Everything has to be nice, spick and span here in the military. Okay, so this room is going to be given to Sergeant Colonel. And this room, the rest of the soldiers are going to sleep in with each other, along with the VIPs. Actually, probably for security's sake, they should probably sleep separately in case something happens. But the sergeants just down the corridor. So get everything nice and cleaned up. But yes. All the bloodstains have to be removed. Get the last of the rubble dragged out of the base. We have some meals, not a ton. But there are animals, so we can throw them into the nutrient paste dispenser. It's not great. But it can be used. But this is the army, doesn't mean you get nice rations. Okay. So what can we make in our canteens? We can make some simple meals And cook simple meals. From raw meat. Okay. We don't have a fridge. That's the only downside, and there isn't a room nearby unless we can convert one of the smaller rooms into a storage, into like a freezer. It seems a bit excessive for the time being. But Sergeant Kerno has some more worrying issues, like the contents of these coffins. There are names on them. One second. Okay. Well, he's in prayer. Okay, so Sergeant Kerno looks at the sarcophagus, stashed away in the main cargo bay. Wood sarcophagus with the name tag Kasky stamped on the outside. Kasky was one of the members of Alpha Company. And he must know. So out they open up. He steps back to have a look at the body. Kasky, one of the members of Alpha Company. Not a particularly good member, they'd only just joined. Well, he looks at the data tag and realises it's not his Kasky. It seems to be an intern. Quite a young one by the looks of it. He turns him over, the name tag says they're supposed to be 18, but they look more like a 14-year-old. He sort of sees how they died. There's no obvious injuries to them. And with a sigh, he puts the body back in the sarcophagus, well, into the coffin. Before going outside and having a look at the other stacked coffins nearby. He looks at the manifest, the personnel manifest that he was given before being shipped out here. Some of the names on these bodies, on these coffins, don't match ones he had. Some of them he does recognise. So he looks through, recognises Victoria. He recognises Benico. Well, he doesn't recognise. Sorry, recognises Victoria. He recognises Abado as two members of Alpha Company. Frigg and Dallas were members of the Ministry of Defence contracting crew that was sent out to help rebuild the originally ruined outpost. But he does not recognise Benico, and he does not recognise Rin. The names do not show up on his lists. So he looks at the bodies. This one has a wound, an old wound, partly healed. And he glances over them. Strange tattoos. Strange tattoos dot their body. And their face is stuck in a sort of startled, horrified expression. This isn't right, says the sergeant. What hell went on here? Where's Captain Hart? What for know is that he needs to get rid of these bodies. They can't just have coffins standing around inside. They can't have bodies standing around inside the outpost. It's not hygienic at the very least, and it's definitely not safe. Especially with bodies of people he does not recognise and not on the crew manifest. Well, crew, I say personnel manifest. So, the order goes out. Where is it? Miscellaneous. We are going to bury the bodies, he tells the rest of his team. The ones we don't recognise, we'll bury them separately, put them off to one side. Our own will bury near the shore. And the Corporal Vale and Private Jackson get tasked with making sure that the bodies are respectfully buried. Turn off. Okay, let's set zones. Okay. And off they go. Members of the company, or of the party of 6, what's left of our company and the VIPs. It is strange. There was supposed to be another sort of like dozen people here, including more scientists, but they're nowhere to be seen. And in the dark, as Sergeant Kerno and his men and the 2 scientists set about burying the graves, or building the graves, they can't help but wonder what happened to Captain Hart and the rest of Alpha Company. But, well, Sergeant Kerno had his orders. He'll keep the scientists safe, keep the outpost secure, maybe they can radio into command and find out what went on. Who knows? And the graves are now constructed. There's this one left. Okay, that's built. Okay, so first things first. First things first, we're going to deconstruct this grave. Yeah, Dallas. Poor sweet Dallas. Realised I'd got to build an extra grave. Okay. So now we're going to speed up time a little bit just to help. Actually, no, I'll just sift our pawns to move quicker, get things done, and this just helps them move about quickly. But yes. We do have a recoilless rifle, or recoilless gun, which is nice. Anti-tank gun. Hexagonal mortar launcher. Jeez, I don't know if you can fire that inside, to be honest. Especially considering that these are solid walls. So we may have to uninstall some things for the time being. But yes. So just move in. Interesting. Over the radio, a wide broadband transmission comes in that a chief of one of the nearby tribes, a man by the name of Fumor, has died. Let's look at our relations. Everyone seems to have seems to be getting on okay for the time being. But of the other factions, though, how does that fare instead? So, our colony hasn't been established yet. Here it is, the colony has been established. So, who do we have? We have a number of unpleasant individuals by the looks of it. And then we have our overseers of the refugee empire. But yes, a bunch of angry, armoured, and relatively creepy dudes. None of them particularly like us. So, we will have to keep an eye on them. As for ideologies, there's a lot of weird things going on. We have all kinds of stuff like liberal doctrine, collective, Altarian doctrine, strong army, roving eaters, cannibalistic raiders that are supremacists, Ironic school. This was fatalism. This is the empire that we're not part of per se. We're basically sort of like a part of their military that has been sent in. Not the imperial military, but more sort of like the local branch we were dispatched. Local sort of like vassal states army that has been sent to reclaim this meager outpost on Grey Island. As you can see, but yes, on Grey Island we're here to study the super organism, that's alongside some other just like harmless ruins. Like, they haven't told us anything, but like we were shipped out from a nearby sort of like power and have landed on this island far away from all and sundry. Whatever could go wrong, I wonder. I mean, we're close enough by sea to have some things happen, I suppose. Like, if you wanted to make a convoy, like... Yeah, we can't get across the water. Fortunately, we do have other modes of transport lined up in the future. So that isn't a massive problem for us. But for the time being, we're sort of stuck on the island, which is no problem at all, because I have plans, and there is research that allows us to do things. But trust me, we're going to have enough issues just surviving on our map as is. So, as night sets in, I think we will uninstall... Yeah, uninstall these weapons. But we... maybe we can't uninstall them. I don't want to lose stuff with the... I don't want to deconstruct anything. We can change the graphics. Oh, we can change the graphics. That's cool. Okay. That's getting broken down. Our men are breaking down the base. Get that cleaned up. We do have some food. It's not a massive end of the world scenario. Yeah. Start getting bodies buried, Private Jackson. Probably we don't want the guy that's you don't want the guy that's handling our food to basically be handling the bodies, but hey ho, you do what you have to do. I should also outlaw these two. Because we want to basically put our people's bodies in here. That's what the sergeant declared. Our guys are getting put in. Sergeant Colonel is just chatting with Corporal Vale. Yeah, just joking about making blouses. They sort of try and have a light sense of humour. We should probably also declare when people have rec time. So, staggered rec time. Couple of hours. Seven hours sleep should be enough. Okay, yeah, we need a chair for that place. So probably one of the first things we want to do, as with all Rimworld plays, extra furniture, square chair. Yeah, we do quality build. Don't know how we actually get the quality of the build up. Like, this is using mods I'm not familiar with, so I might have to go and tweak quality builder. Like I said, some of these mods I'm not familiar with. Power's going up. I don't think we'll need the heavy artillery for the time being. I mean, we don't have an easy line of sight either, which isn't great. Where are you going? You've got a little bit of construction. But we should get tasks signed. I need to fiddle with complex jobs, because I haven't used it before. But yes, so as What's Left Out Company and the civilians settle in at Research Outpost 36, we will leave it there for now. Though Sergeant Colonel is just going around cleaning up blood that some of the civilians were supposed to have cleaned up already. A bit annoying, but you know, it's just always a bit frustrating when they just don't quite do their jobs properly. But yes, so they've got themselves sorted in, and from there, their story will continue. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Rimworld Anomaly till Dawn's End, and I shall see you again next time. Goodbye, everybody.